What are strings in Python? In this session, we will discuss all about strings in Python. So strings are consecutive sequence of characters which are enclosed or surrounded by single or double quotes. So this is a string str1 equal to in single quote health is wealth. So this is an example of a string. These are all in our list to include, that is introduction to strings, declaring a string, using quotes inside a string, spanning a string across lines, that is triple quote string, accessing a string means understanding about the indexes, string concatenation, that is joining two strings, string formatters, escape sequences inside strings, then string functions like length, capitalize and split, operations on string like concatenation, addition, that is replication, and in operator. Let's try to understand through programming. This is how we are declaring a string first. str1 is equal to and in single quotes good morning. So this is a single quote string, and if you want to print it, you have to write a print method, print and str1, which is the name of your string. As you can see, the output is good morning here. Now the strings can be declared in single quotes, double quotes, or triple quotes also. Now when we have a single quote already and if it is working, what is the need of a double quote? That I will show you here. I'm making a change in this string and I'm using this is as today's news. So here we are using an apostrophe s. Let's see. This is going to throw an error because this is not possible. This is your interpreter will find it very difficult to find the particular length of your string from where to start, and that is why it is actually not considering the second part as s and news to be in one string. So that's why in this situation we need a double quotes. As you can see the output now, today's name. Now the output is very perfect. So this is why we use double quote already when we can use a single quote. Double quotes are also used whenever an apostrophe s or apostrophe is being used like that. Now triple quote. So as I told you, strings can be stored in triple quotes also, that is for multi-line strings. So here we change this to a multi-line string, and when you try to print it, this is going to show you the output as it is in a particular format. First line hello everyone, and the second line with all the spaces as we decided there. The format as it is printed. This format you can even achieve using double quote or single quote in a single line also, but using escape sequences. So this is what we are trying now. We have changed the triple quote to double quote now, and but in between wherever we want a line change or a space, then we will be using the escape sequences. There are two escape sequences we are going to use here, /n and /t. The /n to move the next part into the fresh line, and /t is tab, that is to shift towards the right. See, the output in both the situations are same. So either use a triple quote or double quote will be same, but in case you're using double quote, you will have to take help of your escape sequences. Now let's see the string operations, that is concatenation operation, replication operation, and membership operation. Okay, so for these three things we need the operator. So for concatenation we need a plus operator, for replicating we need a multiplication operator, and for membership check we need an in operator, in. So let's start. String 1 is equal to Python. This is the first string we are taking. Then we are taking the another string also, that is string 2, because we need to show here the concatenation. We need two strings as such. So Python fundamentals. Now we will try to concatenate. So concatenation operator is plus sign. When this plus sign is used as an arithmetic operator also, but with the numbers. So when the plus sign you're using with strings, it is concatenation, means joining the two strings. Let's try to print string plus string 2. String 2. Now when you run this, this is going to show both the strings together printed. String 1 and string 2 both printed. Here it is, Python fundamentals. But you can see there is no space in between. But when we are using two words, we must have a space in between. So what we can do is, similarly as we join the two strings, we can even join using one more time this plus operator. We can even join a space also. So this is what we are trying here, plus single quote and then plus again string 2. So as you can see on the output, Python fundamentals with a space right now. Okay, now let's quickly see the replication of operator. Replication is nothing but multiplication sign, and if we want to print a particular string number of times, so here number of times string 1 into 4. So 4 times we want to print Python. Here is the output, Python 4 times. Okay, so just to print a string number of times, we can use the replication operator. Now membership. In case of membership operator, what happen is we just try to find whether a particular character is present in the string or not. So suppose you want to try or check, that is whether T is present in string 1. So as we can see, it is there. The output is going to be the Boolean value, that is true. Yes. T in string 1, yes, true. But when you use it as not in, this is going to give you false answer, because T is present and the condition makes it false. So that's why it's a false answer, Boolean false. Now let's see what are the comparison operators in Python. Comparison operators implemented on string. That means whether a string is less than, greater than, less than equal to, greater than equal to, not equal to. As you can see, for equal to we are using double equal to sign, because single equal to sign is already assigned for working of assignment. String 1 equal to Python assignment operator, single equal to. So double equal to is for comparison. So here we are just trying string 1, string 2. There are two strings and we will simply find out whether string 1 is greater than string 2, as answer is false. No, string 1 is not greater than string 2. So string 1 is less than string 2. Yes, true. Now, what do you think how this works? Actually, this works on ASCII values of the characters. So accordingly, the system try to find whether a string is equal, greater or smaller than the another string. Equal to comparison, string 1 equal to string 2, which is false. Similarly, if you use not equal to, this is going to show you true. Now the next is a slicing. Slicing is also a very important concept. We have just commented all the area. Now slicing means extracting or accessing a part of the string from the complete string. So if you want to print only a part of the string, that you can do using slicing method. Okay. So what you have to do for this is, I'm taking a string, that is string 1. And let's take a string with at least 2 to 3 words, so that we can implement this. We are proud Indians. So this is our string 1, that is we are proud Indians. Now we want to extract We can access a subpart only when we know what are the indexes. So for this we have to understand what are the indexes first. So these here we will try to understand the indexes. So there is one string, that is Python dash string. Altogether there are 13 characters. So complete string, if you want to access, you can simply use the name of the string. But suppose you want to access a particular character, then how will you represent a particular character? That is possible using the index. That is, it starts from 0 index always till 1 length minus 1. So that is 0, 1, 2. If there are 13 characters, from 0 to 12 it goes. Python also supports the negative indexes. So towards the right, you will find the last character as a negative index carrying minus 1. And then -2, -3, -4, like this. So if you want to access to a particular element, you can write the name of the string, and within bracket you can mention the index of that particular character and access a character. A single character can be used like that. So with that knowledge, just try to implement it, how we can access the indexes. This is a slicing process where we are writing print statement, and then to slice something, you need to have first the name of the string. So name of the string, string 1, square bracket, this is the syntax, starting point, colon, and the end point, where end is excluded. Okay, so if here you don't give anything start and end, if you don't specify, then a complete string will be presented on as an output. But when you present it, see here, string 1 start and end both we have not given, so that's why complete string is there on the screen. We are proud Indians. But suppose you want to start from a particular point and go ahead with number of characters, that you can do, but you have to count and tell a particular index, proper right index of that character. So here we want to start from 5 and go till 11, so we have to write 12 there because the end is excluded. So from 5 to 12, this is what we are getting on the screen. V R 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. E is 5. So from 5 till 11, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, till D is 11 and 12 is excluded. So just if you have any doubt whether this space is there or not, take 14 and you will get the output, that is a space and capital I as 13, 12 and 13. Okay, the 14th one is not included here. Now similarly, if you give the starting point and do not provide with the end, it will give you complete string from 5 till end. You can also use the negative indexes, print string -4 from -4 till end. Okay, from -4 till end, that means it will go in one direction only. -4 is 0 towards this side, left side you cannot come. So from -4 till end, this is what are the last 4 characters, IANS. Now quickly see what is strings. The character of string is immutable, so means the strings are immutable. What is the word immutable? With this you will understand. String 1 within bracket 2 index means this is the third position. In third position we want to make a change, that is D we want to check. See here, there is an error if we try to execute this. This is not possible. You cannot make any change in the string. This is the feature that says string is immutable. You cannot change anything in string once declared. Okay, now the next, that is string methods we will do. So let's see, that is first the length function we will apply, that is print length and name of the string. We want to find the length of, that is string A, capital A. We have to declare first capital A. So capital A is, for example, in single quotes we are taking, that is the any word, anything you can take. I am taking as computer. Then now just see the length of the string, that is 8, all characters. There are 8 characters, okay, together. Now what is capitalize? To see the capitalize, first we'll make a change and make the first character is as small of this computer. Okay, now so first just declare a string that is a, and then with a small character this time. Okay, the same we are taking, that is computer, but now the first character is small because the capitalize only will capitalize the first character, not a complete string. So a dot capitalize function, we just, this is the code. When you execute, you are going to see capital C in computer. So this much only is there. Then the next is split, which is very important function, built-in functions. Using split, what happen is any string you can split and make it the list. That means suppose you have taken a sentence, okay, not a single word, because here we are implementing a split. So we are taking two words, that is computer science, and this computer science 11th, class 11th. Let's see, class 11. So there are actually in this string 4 words and we have spaces in between. So when we are implementing a split, we make use of separator. So separator by default are spaces. So a dot split and give nothing in the parenthesis, small bracket. So this will split it using the space. So that means when you execute this, you are going to see computer science class 11th. This is just a list in the output. See square bracket and close means a list. So what is actually happening here is using the spaces, your complete string is splitted in form of list, with the first word as first element of the list, the second word as second element of the list, third element and fourth element. So there are 4 elements like that. To understand separator well, we are just making a little change in this string and I'm using a semicolon. Now within split and parenthesis giving in single quotes semicolon. That means I want to split this string from semicolon. Wherever the semicolon is must be splitted from there. So that's why, because there is one semicolon, this string is splitted in 2 parts, first and second, like that. Okay. Now let's do one thing. Store this splitted list in a variable, that is a list variable, list1, and try to print it. You are going to see the same output. Or if a particular element you want, that also you can use using the indexes, because the computer is first, science second, 0, 1, 2, 3. Here also the indexes are same in case of list also. So first computer, if you want to print, that will be your first element, list square bracket 0. If you write, you're going to see computer on the screen. Okay. Now in operator, as we learn the in operator, see here, I'm just trying to find whether in this list 11th is there or not in Roman. So 11th in list, yes, answer is true, because all the elements now are separated using indexes, or in the list we can find whether xi is there or not. So simple meaning is, if you want to find a subset from a particular sentence or string, you can split it and find it out using in. Okay, in operator. So what happen is split function actually returns a list after separation. Now let's quickly see a program. Try a program. Write program to count number of vowels from a sentence or a string. So first declare a string. I'm taking the variable name of string as sentence because we want to store the sentence there. So sentence, and then in quotes, take a sentence. Safety is not expensive. It is priceless. Okay, so this is one sentence, and now we will try to count the number of vowels. You understand the vowels A, E, I, O, U, but we have to pay attention to both the things, lowercase and uppercase characters. Okay, now to count, so because we want to count something, we need a variable to keep the count, that count. So count equal to 0. Then using for, so this is very important. Using for, we are setting the control on the string. For I in sentence means I is a control which is in the sentence right now. If I in A, E, I, O, U in small letters, lowercase characters, and also in the uppercase characters, means if I is in this particular set, if your value of I falls in this set, we have to variable count, we have to add 1 to this count. Count equal to count plus 1. I is what in for loop is a character, single character. Then check whether that character lies in this list. A, E, I, O, U may say, like that. So then after calculating all that, we will be printing it. Print the value of count, or before that just write a line number of vowels, comma, after double quotes when you end, you take a comma, and after comma the variable name that where you are keeping that particular count. For loop is very important here. For I in sentence means simply try to access each character, and if that character is in the set from A to any vowel, lowercase or uppercase, that is what we have to hit a count plus. You will see the output soon. This will tell you how many vowels are there. Meanwhile, you can calculate it manually by yourself, how many vowels are there. Using for loop, we're simply doing one thing. Yes, 12 vowels. So what we are doing here is, I is a control which is on sentence. That means we are first picking up S, checking it is that S is from the list A, E, I, O, U in capital or lowercase and uppercase. If not, then we are leaving it. Now also you can ask user to give an input in the sentence. Instead of initializing it, you can ask user to input any sentence, and from the choice of the user of the sentence, you can calculate the number of vowels. So this is what we will do, and using input function, no need to give int or float before that, because by default input function accepts everything in characters already. So these were all the concepts related to strings. Thanks for your valuable time.